What is up? What's up? What's up, everybody? It is Jenna Say What coming to you to bring you a really washed out stream. What is. Oh my god, that's what's going on. I was like, I couldn't figure out what the fuck was wrong with everything in my background, and I was like, oh wait. Oh, I didn't mean to turn on the living room. I meant to turn on these lights. Turn on hex. Hey, there we go. Okay. Oh, that looks better. I ain't putting any eyeliner today. I just decided to wing it. Are we scared yet? Alright. Hello. Welcome in, everybody. I am Jenna Say What. I am telling you pretty much the news and various social things that are going on. I think I've just kind of resigned myself to... I'm going to be talking about politics. Going to be talking about various things. There's something going on with my makeup and it is really killing me. Is one eye just like slightly less? Hold on. Hold on. Let the... We'll have the Vulturi watch you guys. Pretend that I'm there. There you go. Pretend. Alright, wonderful. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Vulturi, for keeping my space safe. Arrow, I would have your babies if I could. Mostly because you're not Martin Sheen. Fuck. I'm blanking because I'm thinking of him in Underworld and my brain can't even fucking think. I remember him as Lucian forever and as Aziraphale. Both of those characters could do what Putin and Netanyahu do to Trump, which is fucking spit roast him. Aziraphale's too good for that, though. He's a sweetheart. He would never. I guess Arrow and Lucia... I'm asexual, and I'm like, you know what? Yeah. That's a smash. That's a big old smash. I could tell, like, one lash situation is, like, it's that one. That one has too much. My lefty just tries... My left side is my favorite side, which is very confusing because normally my right side makeup always is better than my left side, but my left side's my favorite, so. There was an episode of Gotham where I forgot who Halle Berry's character was. I just know that she was a fucking slay, you know what I mean? Hey, Yank? Shit. Roy. Oh, Ank. Roy Ank. Got it. I probably butchered the fuck out of it. Hello! Welcome in. Thank you so much for the follow. I'm fixing my face because it's just as a whole is bothering me, but there's only so much I can fix with plastic surgery, you know what I mean? My eyeliner, or like the lack of eyeliner was killing me. I had decided just to kind of go full on Nosferatu Emily vibes with the eyes and the whatnot, and it was not. Roy, perfect. Welcome in. Hello, welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. But yeah, my eyeliner was fucking murdering me. I was like, you know what, that's gonna bother me all stream, and the whole time you guys are gonna watch me be like, trying to see like what precisely is bothering me about my eye makeup today. Um, so, you did miss it by a few, Roy. I had my flag of the Vultures from Twilight on my chair. I did, in fact, get a flag of them, and a flag of God Bill Murray, because it's always important to have, a God figure with you, and God Bill Murray is exactly who we need right now. Anyway, I got those in the other day for conventions to fly high. The Vultures and Bill fucking Murray. I don't know how that explains my personality, but it really kind of should. It should tell you something right there. But it is God Bill Murray from the new movie, The Phoenician Scheme. So if you haven't seen it, if you like slow burns, if you're a Wes Anderson stan, actually I just realized I want to make sure that like everything's good. Everything's good. Cool. All right. I always want to double check because I realize that my audio sometimes gets really fucking weird. So yeah, I didn't write too much down because it's mostly like all day. I feel like that might be a little bit better. Hold on, let me catch up in my earbuds real fast and make sure that I'm not blowing anyone's fucking ears out of their head. Because I always worry about that. That's something that stresses me the fuck out. Okay, cool. I'm all good. Perfect. Just making sure, because like I said, I try to be mindful of that, and I accidentally blew everyone's fucking eardrums out the other night, so I'm extra careful now. But yeah, like, there was so much shit that was, like, bombshell news, and then, like, like, Stephen Colbert, they're canceling his show completely. Like, they're getting rid of it entirely, and I have to say I'm really stressed out about that, and I'm really mad, because, like, I watch him every morning, and I know his show's on at night, but I watch it on YouTube in the morning, so I always watch, like, Philip DeFranco, Daily Show, and Late Night. So, like, all three of those, and then, like, if John Oliver's on. I know that that's comedy stuff, and then I go into the more serious stuff and watch, like, debates and go off various things, but, like, goddamn. Because, like, those are my comedians, the ones that I grew up with, the ones that I watched trash movies, whenever I was in grade school that were way too adult for me. So, like, hey, Leia, Jesus Christ. I can't say names today. Fucking pronunciation is just eluding me. God damn. Like, how the fuck did I just say that sentence, but I can't say the fucking word Leia. Fuck! God. Where's Bill Murray? Hold on. Let's pray to Bill Murray for a second. God, Bill Murray, why am I acting like this? And I'm not even high or drunk or anything. I'm a fucking idiot. That makes sense. Okay, yeah. That makes sense. See? See? It's names. Names are eluding me. What the fuck? God, Bill Murray is definitely correct on that. Anyway, which is going to be problematic whenever I start talking about any and everybody's names later on, which is, I need to put that eyeliner pencil far away from me because I know I'm going to take it out, forgetting it's not a pen, because my brain is no longer functioning. She dead up in here. That's smooth. It's smooth up there. But yeah, so, yeah, Stephen Colbert, his show is being completely pulled, which I feel is a kiss the ring moment. Like, I truthfully think that that is absolutely CBS kissing the fucking ring because they're trying to sell their company to make billion. I'm like, bro, just like what I hope is gonna happen. What I hope is gonna happen is that CBS isn't gonna get that deal. They're never going to sign it. That's what I'm hoping, is that CBS kicks, like, fucks them their own selves over. Like, that's what I want. I want them to have gotten rid of Stephen Colbert. There becomes like this huge outrage, and then Trump doesn't even sign the rights for those companies to merge, which they shouldn't merge anyways, because the amount of monopolies that we fucking have are insane. Everything's owned by the same people, the Koch brothers, fucking stupid what's his face that owns fucking Fox News, which is a whole ass fucking thing too. I know I wrote down that motherfucker's name. I can never remember that guy. Like, Rupert fucking Murdoch. That's it. God damn. Like, Trump's going after him now. I guess no one's free from the finger being pointed at him. You know what I mean? Like, this is crazy. They're all on my, like, everything. All the, like, food corporations, everything's owned by the same companies. I really would love for, like, a whole movement to happen to where all of us stop buying anything and everything from big businesses. Like, unless it's an absolute, like, there's no other place that could make it, etc., etc. But, like, people need to start, like, 3D printing and, like, molding and casting, like, parts for cars and things like that. But, like, in the form of, like, metals and stuff like that. Like, metal workers and 3D printer people, like, we need to start hooking up. Like, we need to start hooking up, like, cosplayers and things like that. Like, we need to start, like, doing local stuff. Like, cosplayers for, like, you know, costumes for, like, you know, whatever. Like, I feel like we really work with, like, local farms to source, like, I don't know. Like, there's so many things I wish that, like, we could do on a local level and get rid of corporations entirely on our own as, like, a people. And I know that that would take, like, a majority of the United States to get on board, and that would be goddamn almost impossible. And there are things that are hard to buy, like fabrics and things like that. But, like, I don't know. Like, what if we start, like, thrifting instead of buying and stuff like that? Like, giving away instead of selling, like, you know, I don't know, like, depopping clothes instead of doing that. Like, a lot of my stuff on Depop never sold. So it just sat in my closet for no reason. And I'm like, I could have donated this, or I could have, like, you know, whatever. So, like, I really wish that there was, like, a movement that we could start that would be, like, a grassroots thing. I was talking to a cosplayer the other day, and she told me, and, like, I don't know her, you know, personally. I've never, like, that was the first time I ever, like, worked with her and met her. But she said that she, like, legitimately has cut out, like, big businesses out of her life. And I'm like, that's fucking impressive. I was like, I wish I could do that. And, like, I almost want to fucking pick her brain and, like, check out, like, how she actually does things and, like, really grill her on things and see if, like, maybe one day she wants to come on the stream and talk how normal people can start that process. Maybe not, like, because I don't expect everyone to be able to, like, do that sort of thing. Because, like, for instance, there's a lot of food deserts out there. You can't really do that. There's not really, you know, if you need something, you know, like, there's a lot of reasons why people, like, use Amazon and why they go to Walmart and why they go to, like, you know, these big box stores. There's reasons for it. There's a billion fucking reasons why they can't cut those things out and why they would have to, like, do that. But to, like, maybe things that she would know that would be outside of the box in the realm of thinking, like, I would love to platform that shit. I know for me, I overconsume. And right now I'm trying to break myself of little over indulging or overspending or over consuming, basically. Like I'm sitting here thinking about things that I do that are a little bit more like wild, and I'm like, why am I doing this? Like for instance, like someone was saying like, oh yeah, why do you throw out your candles whenever like just for example, like how it has like this bit on it, eventually that won't wear down. I have a wax melter, so I was like, oh, I can just throw that and like get a pot from the thrift store, heat up some water, throw those little guys in there, heat them all up, put them into, you know, a container to like wax melt. And I was like, oh, that's fucking smart. And I'm sitting there thinking of like all the candles that I just threw out that, you know, were either half done in the fucking wick got like buried into it. Like, how the fuck did that happen? But like all these things I was thinking about like over consuming and how you can like lessen those things, because we're gonna have to start all doing that. Like, I mean, like for real. Like I'm starting to like check my food intake, and like a TikToker posted, they were like, you know, as a physician, like let's concentrate on the fact that a lot of us aren't going to be able to have healthcare or afford healthcare just in general. So you need to start like taking care of your body. So like cutting out bad foods and starting to like add vitamins. And I was like, okay, and I dropped like $70 on fucking vitamins today because I was looking at, for like my age bracket, like what do I need? What's starting to hurt on me? And I was like, my joints are starting to hurt, my muscles are starting to hurt, like I'm starting to get like pains like that, which I always kind of knew was inevitable. My right ankle is like crunchy now, and for context, I used to twist my ankle all the fucking time. Specifically my right ankle. The first time I did it, I fell off of 8-inch platform boots and my ankle touched the ground while I was up like that. And I don't know how I didn't break my ankle. It was like a hot second, and I like kind of bounced back and then flew back to this side. I couldn't tell you how the fuck that didn't break. Like I still am to this day confused how it didn't break. But I knew that my right ankle is going to always hurt. I knew that my left joints, lower joints, are definitely going to hurt because I have scoliosis. I'm an inch taller on one side than I am on the other. And I have degeneration in my lower spine and arthritis in my neck. I'm like, I know that my joints are going to eventually hurt me. It's just that now they're starting to significantly hurt me. And I'm like, okay, this is a little too fast. And I realized I've not taken vitamins, I don't think, since I was like a kid. So we're doing that now. I have a bunch of collagen, heavy vitamins in there, which is inevitably going to fuck up my skin. Any of the hair, skin, and nail vitamins, I always break out from them. And I assume that's probably allergic reaction, so I normally stop them anyways. I'm just really hoping that this is different because it's specifically like all 5 types of collagen and like various things. So I'm hoping that like somehow, some way it's gonna like not fucking affect me negatively, just because I need that for my joints. I might end up having to take meds, like hormone meds for my acne if it happened. If I need to take the collagen and every single thing is going to fuck me up and I'm always going to have acne, then I'd have to go on like hormonal pills to like get rid of the acne or whatever. It's going to be a whole fucking situation, and luckily I'm decent at makeup and whatever. But like I found out that like through that doctor, long story, to start taking vitamins and doing better for my body and being healthier about my consumption as to what I'm putting in my body and things like that. I'm trying to drink more water, which means that I'm a weird person. I heat up like hot lemon water, which is what I typically drink. So like I'm drinking more water. I'm trying to do things that are better for my body now that I realize that like, oh yeah, like we're we need to start buckling in and starting to like preemptively do things to like prepare ourselves for those moments where, you know, we're gonna have to go without, or we're gonna have to like do whatever. Like, there's a lot of things that are gonna be moving pieces and whatnot. So like my idea is like, you know, I go to Monday night karaoke and I'll grab like a couple of drinks, but I switched because once Trump started to do the thing, I was like, I'm gonna just switch to like getting used to just drinking, like, instead of a pint glass of beer, drinking one of the half ones. So it's a lot cheaper, and on top of that, I'm not drinking as much. So like I've gotten used to that. Now I'm just doing that if I go out on Monday night to sing, which is something that I really want to keep doing because it's something that I'm passionate about. I've been a singer my whole fucking life, dudes. Like, my whole life. I was in chorus, I was in band, I was doing that. My dad was a music teacher, so like I was started fucking early, you know? And he was a vocal teacher. So voice was always my first instrument, no matter what. So, like, for me, I'm like, okay, that's something I really don't want to cut out unless it's absolutely necessary. Local cons, I can go without. Dragon Con, KatsuCon, MagFest, not so much. Those three, I will do anything and everything in my power to go to them, and be able to do the whole thing. Just because that's my therapy. It really is. It's something that, and I get to see a lot of friends that I don't get to see that I would really love to visit, but due to like everything in the world, and then on top of that, like, you know, cost and time off and things like that, I don't have that ability to. So those are things like in my head, I've already chosen that, like, if I, you know, it would be like Dragon Con and MagFest and KatsuCon, unless it has to be one or the other, in which case then I'll pick Dragon Con, Katsu, or Mag. Worst case scenario, last one to go, and the one that I'm not gonna stop going to is Dragon Con. So like, if I absolutely have to, those are the options I've kind of like sat with, because it was something that I was really thinking about and being like, this really sucks. I don't want to have to do this. And it's like, none of us really want to fucking have to do this, but here we are. We're going through a second Trump presidency. We still we have to make sacrifices because they're making us make those sacrifices. Yet they're sitting on their fucking top of their fucking little ivory tower, and they get to do whatever the fuck they want, having their fucking foam parties and their yacht so big, a yacht so fucking big that they had to break down the fucking bridge to allow it to go out to sea. That's too big, Bezos, you motherfucker. It's too big. Shitbag. Build schools, you dumbass. Like, goddamn. It heats me. Fucking heats me. Like, like, we all have to sacrifice our health, which that shouldn't even, like, healthcare is a right, and we should all have that right, and it should be free to all of us. Plain and simple, babes. Plain and simple. It's not hard, and but they get their healthcare. They get their healthcare, but we don't. We don't get our healthcare. We don't get to go to the doctor because we have a hurt fucking ankle. Like, dude, my fucking elbow is hurt for like 6 months now. My ankle has been like fucked up, and like, I don't have time off. I'm actually working 5 hours tomorrow just so, like, to have extra time, like extra pay. So like, luckily this weekend was like my freebie, and I was like, well, I could do all these things, but I could also get paid, so I'm gonna get paid. We shouldn't have to live like that. That shouldn't be like for any of us. Like, anybody that like works hard manual labor and shit, they shouldn't have to deal with shit either. Like, they need to get paid more. Like, all of us that are at the bottom, we're all fucking struggling. And they're sitting there drinking all day, hanging out and partying, while their employees keel over dead in their factories. So yes, if I can underconsume at this point, I want to, because I'm getting real fucking heated with all this bullshit of, like, you know, The administration getting away with literally everything. Probably murder. More than likely murder. Pedophilia, for sure. Like, all of these things that are, like, absolutely fucking heinous things, they get away with. They don't have a fucking care in the world. I wonder what that feels like. Every time Bruce takes a shit now, I smile with glee. Because I'm like, oh, thank God, he's not going to have surgery again. I don't have $10,000 to drop on him again. Which means the worst case scenario. You know what I mean? Oh, but they don't have to worry about that shit. Like, they even have pets. Who am I fucking kidding? Their children are their pets, and the only reason that their children are their pets is because, like, they don't want to have to take care of an animal 100% of the time. They want to be able to go, here's a nanny. Oh, now you're 16. Now we can have a conversation? Sure, okay. Whatever. Here's some money. Go away. Like, I'm done with you. Like, they don't have... Any pet that they have is probably their kid's pet, not theirs. You know what I mean? Like, those people don't give a fuck about anybody but themselves, including their kids. They don't give a fuck about their kids either. Trump does, but only his daughter, his one daughter, because the other one is always gone, which I don't fucking blame her. But fucking Ivanka or whatever, he wants to fuck her. So, you know? And then I watched an interview where he said Ivanka, and this is while she's 17, she said, "Dad, you're not allowed to date to date anyone that's younger than me." And he's telling this story. I think it was probably on the Howard Stern show too. And then he's like, so now as she gets older, my pool of people that I can date gets smaller. Bro, for one, no one wants to fuck you. No one. You're unlovable. For two, that's a fucked up statement. You shouldn't even be looking at someone that's close to your daughter's age anyways. Like, there's no excuse to look at someone that's as old as your daughter and you think that they're attractive. You should go, oh my God, she's my daughter's age. She could literally be my child. There's no question about it. And then him talking about an infant on a, what do you call it? On a, like, TV show or whatever. And he's sitting there with his wife. He's like, she's got Marla, I think it's Marla, I don't know, Marla's legs. And I was just like, oh my God. And he's like, and I don't know if she has this yet, like her, but we'll see in the future. And I'm like, oh my God. Hey, Kaiju. Oh, yeah. Oh, God, I'm so sorry. Oh, avoiding an argument with the MAGA sister-in-law. Yeesh. God, I you know, I'm sending you all the love, man, because, like, whoo! That sucks. That really sucks. It's so, the fact that they're, like, he literally posted about them, about his supporter base. They're dumb. They're manipulated. They're this and that. Like, he literally threw his entire base under the bus. And, they're still taking it? That's crazy to me. I really hope that people are going to start waking up as to, like, he doesn't like you. He hasn't liked MAGA since he made MAGA. He's never cared for them. He's literally said that on live, is that they're a bunch of, like, brain dead idiots. Like, he said that before he even got elected the first time. And I'm still shocked that people fell for his bullshit. But I guess because he was on TV, like, that was going to be the thing that was going to set everybody like, no, he's a failed fucking businessman. He's a failed fucking businessman. He put 3 casinos next to each other. And he was even told they're going to cannibalize each other. You're literally going to run these businesses. And they were closed within a year or some shit like that. Or 10 years. It was something like that. It was like, there was a 1 in it, basically. Like, it wasn't that long. He fucked himself. After his investors were like, don't do this. The bank was like, don't do this. And he did it anyways. And he lost. The fact that, like, he, like, fuck, I can say I'm a businessman. Like, anybody in their fucking, the world can say that if they want to. Like, it doesn't mean that it's true that you are or that you're a good one. And he's failed. Yeah, of course he's a businessman. Yeah, sure, he's a businessman, but, like, what's his fucking track record? Jesus fucking Christ. Yeah, they're masochistic. Yes, it is Animal House at this point. Thank you, sir. Can I have another? Yeah. Absolutely it is. Because, like, now at this point, any of them that support him, especially with the Epstein files coming out, if they think it's a Democratic hoax, what the fuck? He literally said, there's files. Then he's like, and Pam Bondi's like, the files are on my desk. And there's court cases of this. There's one court case of a Jane Doe that was gonna come forward, and she decided not to on the day of her court date because she got threatening messages saying that her entire family was gonna be unalived. So she decided to not press the charges, but the files and the reports are there, and it's about Trump raping her at fucking 13, 14 years old. And, like, tying her down. And she was pleading with him to stop. And he said that I'm rich, I can do whatever the fuck I want, or else I'll have your entire family unalived. What the hell? Bro. That's a court document. That's not just something on the internet. That's a fucking court document. And it's abhorrent. So it's like, you don't fucking give a shit about kids. If, out of everything, if pedophilia doesn't even turn you off to this man, you got fucking problems. You got fucking problems. Because, like, that's nuts to me. Like, you, like... Oh, I didn't see Bill O'Reilly getting fact-checked about the Epstein files. Oh, man, I gotta watch that, because, God, I love watching that man get fucking railroaded. Woo! It's best time, you know what I mean? Like, crazy. Craziness. And speaking of pedophiles, hanging out pedophiles, fucking Matt Gaetz was supposed to be our attorney general. Wonder why? I wonder why. Because he would be the one that would be taking care of the Epstein files. Oh, good old Matt Gaetz. Handling pedophile cases. That's not fishy at all. Oh, it's not fishy at all. Mm-mm. And then him on the way to the White House, that makes me worried. Oh, it is a smoke screen of epic proportions. It's definitely not winning. Good God. Yeah, like... If Matt Gaetz gets put back into office, that's it, bros. Like, hold on to your children. Because if you don't think that they're going to not start snatching like, kids. They have been doing that, I think. I don't know if that played. Did that play? No? Anyways. But allegedly, like, there's been rumors for many a years about the secret pedophile ring in the United States government. Like, that's always been a thing. That's all, because, like, I'm a true crime buff, so, like, this Epstein business is, like, right up my alley. I've been on this case for a very long time with, like, knowing things, but not really, it never came out until recently, and I'm like, oh, it was true! Like, so I think it might actually be quite possible. Because, like, Bill Clinton's supposedly on that list, too, and honestly, not surprised. Not surprised. That man's a fucking predator, too, because of what he did to fucking Monica Lewinsky. And then she gets all the slack for it. And we wonder why women don't come out with their stories. Like, I got fucking roasted whenever I came out about my story in the cosplay community. My God. Because I came out about my ex, like, two of my exes, which isn't surprising because whenever you're abused heavily, the other abusers, you have a fucking flashing light above your head. They know. And this one in particular knew and kind of set it all up too for a while, as I come to realize. But I got fucking blacklisted for a while about that. And I'm like, I'm still dealing with backlash from that because I came out. And I'm like, you know what? I'm always the one that says something, so fuck y'all. So, like, at this point, I find out something about someone in the cosplay community, I don't give a fuck anymore. I'll blast him on stream, though. No heartbeat. Make fun of him. Do all that. Can't help it. But yeah, so I don't fucking blame her for not wanting, you know, the other girl for not coming forward. Like, one of the other girls unalived herself because, like, the Prince Charles or whatever was attacking her online. And, like, stalking and doing crazy shit. So, yeah. Me personally, I'd be like, I have a prince following my ass. Come get you some. Come get you some. I'm an American, bitch. I'll kick your ass. Like, I'd be like, come over here, big boy, come on. I'd probably instigate too much on that one, but, yeah, like, no fucking wonder. That's scary shit, though. Like, for real, if it did happen to me, I'd probably be terrified, but, again, I tend to, whenever I'm scared, I tend to go, like, head first and be like, oh, yeah, like, the more scared I get, the more confrontational I get, which is very problematic and will absolutely be the death of me, but I didn't die at 25. Everything else past that was a bonus round, so everything else past that was also paying more taxes. I pay a lot of taxes. We all pay a lot of taxes. Ugh. Anyway, without representation a lot of time. It's great. We're great. Doing great. But yeah, like, it's fucking terrifying. And, you know, that happened, and then, you know, so there's, like, a lot of fucking evidence from it. There's a lot of things. I mean, if there's a prince involved, a prince of England, like, it goes all the way to the top, you know what I mean? It goes all the way to the top. So, that's my opinion. I think that there's probably, like, a whole pedo ring. I like, that one dude shut up that pizza place because he heard rumors that there was a secret pedo ring in the basement of this, like, pizzeria. And I was like, and he found, like, whenever he shot the place up, he found out that there was no basement. And I'm like, I'm from Chicago, bitch. I come from a land of mobsters, okay? There's a secret door. That's what I would assume. I wouldn't go in there and shoot the place. I would find the secret door first. Like, that was his first mistake. You gotta find the secret door. And then you don't do it for the patrons. Come on. You go through that secret door. And then you find out all the scandalous shit. And then you take photos and you bring it to the press. Oh, shit, the press is infiltrated. Fuck! We're living in hell! So never mind. I guess then you just go on the internet and blab it and just hope that people hear it. And not the wrong people? Because you're a little person and it's like, I don't know. Here we are. In hell. But at least we have Labubu's. I like holding their little hand when I'm scared. Tell me it's gonna be alright, little Labubu. Everything's gonna be okay. Thank you. Alright, wonderful. Feel much better now. Can you tell? Anyway, yeah, it's just one of those things where I'm like, it wouldn't surprise me if there's a fucking magical door that's in there that brings you to fucking pedo Narnia, you know? And there's too many powerful people that can get away with too many powerful things. And if I can come up with ways that I could, you know, like hide secret doors and like, you know, get different contractors. Actually, I got that idea from fucking H.H. Holmes. That's what he did. He gets a contractor to make like a certain part of the room, then switches contractors and gets a different guy to like do different things. So like they never complete the job. He just gives them bits of it and pays them to do bits of it. That's how you get away with that shit. That's how they can't figure it out. So that's what I would assume with that door. Also, it's not hard to put in a secret door. I saved that shit on Instagram, and it did not look that hard. And I really want to make one. But not in this apartment. This apartment kind of sucks, so maybe the next one. Secret door. Secret! Oh, wait. Speaking of secrets, a big bombshell yesterday was that Trump wrote him a birthday card that included a picture of a naked lady with his signature in her pubic area to mimic like pubic hair. Which, I mean, truth be told, I was like, oh, thank God there's pubic hair there, but that doesn't mean shit. My brain was like, oh, that's an adult woman then. And I was like, wait a second. Oh, no. So, like, for a hot second there, I was like, oh, maybe he's just being weird. And then, like, once they started reading that, I was like, oh, fuck, there's no way. Because, like, sometimes I'll try to, like, logic base it out and be like, okay, well, are we making a bigger deal out of it? Because, like, sometimes Mice Touch, whenever I watch them, they do over-exaggerate some bits of it. Like, Trump looks sickly. And I'm like, he's always looked sickly. Let's get that one straight. He has a lot more makeup on. We don't know what his face looks like underneath all that orange. But he's definitely not blending his shit, which, I mean, could attest for the fact that there's no real gays around him to be able to do his makeup before he goes out on a press conference. So, like, certain things like that where I'm like, okay, yes and no. Yes, he's getting very old. He is the oldest president that we've had. He is going to, like, he's, of course, having health issues. He's old. He's gonna. You know, and so they kind of made it, like, the way that he was putting it is, like, he's rotting from the inside. I'm like, okay, we're going a little overboard here. So, like, sometimes I'll be able to reason things out like that where I'm like, okay, that's going a little, we're reaching here. I know that we want him to, but that's not necessarily what's happening. Once they came out about his legs thing, I was like, that checks out. Why his ankles are swollen is like the pooling in the legs. My dad had that. He also had dementia too. But, yeah, the Trump birthday card. I've heard speculation that people think that it is Ghislaine Maxwell that sent it to, oh, of course I didn't write it down. Wherever they sent the card to, Trump is currently going after, Rupert Murdoch. So yeah, I'm not sure what fucking, I think it's New York Times, maybe? No, not New York Times. It's one of the big newspaper article places, whatever. Anyway, so like they released this birthday card information, and it said like, here's to more secrets, blah 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 blah. Like, I'm gonna have to find it. I'm surprised that I didn't think to like pull that card up, or not card, yeah, that card up and see what it says. Oh, come on. But yeah, her birthday, Jesus Christ. Card. But apparently this is like a real thing, and it's been verified, and now he's threatening to sue them right now. And I'm like, good luck, bud. Good fucking luck. Because the thing is that if he takes them to court and tries to sue them, they're gonna have everything come out in discovery. You know what I mean? Like, there's not a way that that's gonna, like, not come out. It's crazy. Oh, Wall Street Journal, that's it. Wall Street Journal was the people that released that. And oh, I know. Who is he? Who could he possibly be? No one knows. It's a mystery. Yeah, it's so crazy. Like, now that the stuff's coming, like, he's not gonna sue them. All that shit's gonna come out in discovery. It's crazy. Oh, he's definitely a child-loving guy. Ugh. Yeah, it's yikes. But yeah, his letter to his 50th birthday was like insane. Let me see if I can even find it. Why are we always paywalling our news? Come on. I swear to God, it always irritates the shit out of me that we're paywalling the news, especially. So let me see, because I was trying to find the actual thing to read it. But yeah, he wrote him this letter that basically was like, here's to all the secrets that we have and this and that. And I'm like, this is really bad. This is like really, really bad. And then he's like, he doodled in it, like I said, and then he went on record and was like, I don't doodle, I don't do this, like, this is not something that blah 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 blah. And I was like, bro, so he's straight up fucking lying, because he has doodled, and he's actually sold his doodles as like things are a charity, with his signature on it too, just to make it slightly worse. So you know that it's him. He's like, he literally signs all of his doodles. Who does that? Just draw like a normal human being. But yeah, he sat there and did doodles and on this thing and was like, I don't draw at all. Yeah, if you had one brain cell, you'd probably know, but these people are literally in a cult, unfortunately. And like, that's not an excuse for it. It's also the fact that like, there's people that have left and they started like leaving MAGA is what it's called, and it's like a nonprofit for people to leave that community, and the guy that funded it, who's an ex-Trump supporter, said that it felt like he was leaving a cult. He had all of the same signs, everything's the same as far as getting away. So, like, I hope that people jump ship and they find those communities of, like, ex-Trump supporters that can kind of bring them back into reality. But yeah, it's so crazy. This is exactly what they were voting for. They were voting for a felon, a 34 count convicted felon, and someone that hung out with fucking a pedophile who has literal court cases against him being doing sexual assault. And then on top of that, a case that got dropped where he raped a 13, 14-year-old. So it's like, the evidence is there, buddy. You're a pedophile. Get out of our solar system. Ew. It's so wrong. It's so fucking wrong. And now he's saying, he's like, oh, I'm going to release the grand jury transcripts. Guess what? He doesn't get to make that decision. He doesn't. That stuff gets released only if a federal court decides it. Do you think that federal court is going to release it? No, they're not gonna. They're not gonna, because that is he's installing all these loyalists. He's getting rid of all these Democratic judges or Republican judges that go against him. He's getting rid of them to install his own loyalists. Wonder why? It's like, oh, it's so they can be like, nope, we're not going to do it, and then they'll fall on the spear. They'll take the fall. Oh, it was my choice. I felt like it wasn't appropriate to release. And even if they do release it, what all is being taken out of it? And this is what they said, that it was only the it's the transcripts in the Epstein case, the grand jury transcripts. So it's not even the case, like the full case. There's like so much stuff that's going to be missing out of it. He wouldn't be the guy. Yeah. The fact that it was all laid out there in Project 2025, it was all planned from the get-go. It was all planned from the jump. We all, like, all of us that read this shit and actually did our fucking research, we knew that this shit was coming down the pipeline. We knew. We were prepared for it. We were getting ready for it. And, you know, you can only prepare so much before you're like, okay, well, this was far beyond what I could possibly have prepared for. We knew that this shit was going to happen, and most of Project 2025 is already in effect now. We're already rolling down that hill of Project 2025. Of course, they changed the name on it, thanks to Democratic leader fucking Schumer. Get the fuck out, dude. Go fucking retire. God damn, dude. And he's a shitbag. I hate him, so. Yeah. Facts. Oh my god. That whole situation is beyond too far gone. Like, all the wars, especially, like, Israel needs to calm the fuck down. They need to stay in their fucking lane. This is getting really bad. It is really bad. It's far past that. I don't know why I'm saying it is getting really bad. It is all really bad. And, like, Israel, I guess, is now allowing them, like, American soldiers just to shoot at people. And there was a video where they were, like, celebrating that, and they were cattling him. And I was like, oh my fucking god. Like, my brain can't even wrap its fucking head around that level of inhumane cruelty at this point. It's Yeah. 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 It is. It's a fucking genocide. It, like, those people, they're all, like, they're not gonna stop. Like, him and Putin, they're not gonna stop. Both, like, both fucking Netanyahu and Putin aren't gonna stop until all of, Soviet Russia's back and Israel has killed every single one of the Palestinians. I'm terrified that none of that's gonna stop. And that's what really fucking sucks. It really, like, our country isn't gonna stop it. Yeah, exactly. It's like, I can understand if your country is constantly under attack. I have friends that's Israeli, and like I've asked them questions about it too, and they're like, yeah, this has been going on since like the 70s or some shit like that. Like, I get it. But I also can't understand how there hasn't been some sort of fucking resolve. And to me, it just feels like a pissing contest at this point. There should be but not like this. Like, yeah, and the more I see, I'm really terrified that this shit isn't gonna stop. We're, like, to me, the way that I see it is all of us that are serving under our government regimes, dictatorships, whatever the fuck, cross globally, we're all just expendable to like the 1%. We're expendable beyond. Our lives don't matter, because like if you're looking at it from like even the American standpoint, just specifically, only like, I'm just closing it off to like us right now, but like even just us getting involved with like the Israeli, or the Israel what do you call it, bombing of, not Israel, Iran, the bombing of that. Now all of a sudden, our soldiers, our men and women, are gonna go over and be unalived for something that we, like, that shouldn't have fucking happened. And then Trump going, oh, like having a conversation with the Iranian like leader, and the Iranian leader's like, we're gonna bomb you, and Trump's like, okay, you have a time for that? Oh, 6 p.m. Great, love that, it's perfect. What the fuck? We put our men and women at risk right then and there. So it's like, no lives matter at this point. 1%'s do. That's the only ones. Because they're the ones with the fucking nuke codes. Those are the ones that can strip us of all of our civil liberties. And those are the people that can destroy our lives like that. Just by laying us all off. And like now with them not having regulations on AI, that shit scares the hell out of me, because I'm like, how many jobs are we going to lose to this that we don't have to lose? All of a sudden, now a bunch of people are homeless, workless, barely surviving, all of this and that. And I'm just like, what the actual fuck are we doing? Like, it's so crazy. I'm just like, we outnumber them, and we should be smarter than this. And everyone should be looking at the 1% being like, fuck you, dudes. Every single one of us should. It's a class war, baby. This is a class war. And we're just getting punched in the face and not doing a fucking thing about it. And I'm telling you, like, there's been times where I've had conversations with, like, more, like, they weren't saying that they voted for Trump, but their like verbiage definitely sounded that way, but like I went on to a whole ass tangent about how it's the 1% that we have to fight against, and this person had no way to get in a word in edgewise. And then on top of that, I was like, how much do you make? And they were like, and I started in on them and their job and how much they actually should be making. And I was like, you know why? And I was like, let me check real fast. Yeah, your CEO makes this much. And here's him on his yacht. And they're like, shit. And I'm like, here's how much profit your company made. How much do you think you should be making right now? And they're like, oh, fuck. Like, me, that's how I get people every time. Because I'm like, all right, you want to support him? All right, let's play this game. And I'm like, crack, like cracking my knuckles and shit and being like, all right, let's fucking go. And that's how I convince people to, like, start thinking past that. Because like, there are some people in the government that are really trying. They're like, I feel like most of them are on the fucking Democratic side. Like fucking Tom Tillis, thanks for joining the party, dude, but you could have fucking done it a lot sooner, you stupid bastard. Like, because he's my Senate or my congressman or whatever, like, and he's a Republican, and now he's fucking doing that. But then he's starting to, like, he's still voting for things too. Like, I also saw that too, and I'm like, God, you're such a piece of shit. Like, these people don't give a fuck about us. They'll do one little tiny speck of something for us, and then the rest of it is just a blip on their fucking... They don't give a fuck. They're like, nope, not voting for it. So, like, oh, man. And it's the same thing as, like, a lot of across the board. It's very few and far between. Like, I think AOC is still rooting for us and really trying to, like, do that. Same thing with Cory Booker and oh my god, I'm blanking on her name, but she's amazing and I can see her in my head and I'm just like, she's glorious. Why am I blanking? I've been shit with names today, so like it's not gonna be surprising. Why is there something on my nose ring? I messed with some fuzz and I think some of that fuzz got on me. Anyways, yeah, like I feel like there's still some people that are out there, like, pushing to keep us safe, but I don't think a lot of them are. The entire Republican side is fucking terrified of Trump, which I'm very confused as to why. I firmly believe that he probably was the person that actually killed Epstein, but I could be wrong. He also doesn't seem like a dude that would get his hands dirty, you know what I mean? But I think that he definitely executed that order. It's probably a couple of the guards that he did, but I mean, that's kind of where I'm thinking about, is like, it might be that sort of thing. But I mean, it makes me mad that people would take money from him and be like, yeah, I'll do your bidding. It's so weak. It's so weak. From a man that can't even stand up and is shitting himself. Come on. Come on. Shitting himself. 1 foot in the grave, bro. It definitely looks like that. That cankle was bad. So, you know. But yeah, there's just alone. Pardon. There was 4,000 wire transfers between Epstein and Trump. 4,000. My best friend and I, like, pay each other a lot for, like, you know, like, I sent them money to help, like, them move. They've sent me money for food. There's, like, a lot of transfers between me and my bestie, right? Not that many. Not that many. And we do, like, Dragon Con together, so, like, there's that transfer. There's like various transfers whenever we go out and we're just like, fuck it, I'll just, you know, I'll pay for your dinner or whatever and just pay me back or whatever. Like there's a bunch of reasons why, but like there's not that many. There's probably like 20 for like 3 years. And he was with best friends with Epstein for 10 to 15. And I feel like that's, if you have like a fuckload of money, like I wouldn't have my bestie shoot me their price for, or their sliver of the pie for their Dragon Con room. You know? Like there's a lot of things that I feel like if I was rich, I wouldn't need you to wire me money. Unless, and that seems 4,000 wire transfers. That's an exorbitant amount. That seems like, you know what I mean? That just seems so fucking shady. So like there's 12 months in a year times, we'll just say 15. I just want to kind of guesstimate how many. So 180 months. So it's 22 a month. That's 22 wire transfers a month. Back and forth. That seems crazy. Get English subs on the vid. Maybe? Oh. I don't know. Going on a hill where, oh yeah. Oh yeah, I saw that video. Yeah, that was fucked up too. Like, Jesus Christ. But yeah, like, 22 wire transfers a month seems ridiculous. What the fuck are they doing? You know what I mean? Like, I know, like, I think we all know exactly what they're doing and what those fucking wire transfers were for. But that's, like, almost every day of the month for 15 years. Unless my math is totally off and I divided different, like, incorrectly, but being in a war that's just going as tourist trip. I know. Oh my God, I know. Yeah, I hope that family gets justice for him. Because I was like, holy shit, dude. Like, we had an American citizen die over there. Like, this is getting real. I don't understand how, like, I also don't understand how the UN works. But I thought that they were kind of like the true world police, where they, like, if shit's going down, they can actually arrest and people, like, charge people. Like, can they not do that? I feel like that should be a thing that should be able to happen. Yes and no? Okay. I knew that it was, like, a very, like... I started to look into it, and I was like, holy shit, this is gonna take a lot of concentration that I don't have at the moment. So, yeah, it was one of the... Because I know that Netanyahu's charged for war crimes at this point. But he wasn't for a while. But I don't understand why he wasn't. It's... Yeah. Oh, yeah, no one dares fuck with... I know. As long as most... Yeah. It's so bad. I wish I knew a lot more about, like, how all that stuff works. I mean, eventually I'm going to. Just because, like, I've been really, like, deep diving into things and kind of getting a lot... Like, I used to be political back in the day. Like, back whenever I was much younger. And then I got out of it, and then now I'm, like, back heavy into it again, to where it's like, okay, yeah, I was kind of obsessed with it before, and now I'm, like, becoming more obsessed with it because I have more resources to, like, look things up and fact check and do this and that, because during that time, it wasn't really accessible. So, you know, and now we have, truthfully, like, all knowledge at our fingertips, which is so confusing why people still don't fucking fact check. You know? Fucking fact check. It's crazy. But yeah, I'm really interested to see if he actually does go after Murdoch, Rupert Murdoch. And the UN said if the prime minister, president, oh yeah, they'll arrest him. I saw that and I was like, can we not go in there? Yeah, exactly. He's never gonna leave. Did he go to the US? Oh, I guess the US, never mind. They could though, couldn't they? Could they come over here? Could they arrest him on our soil? Or that'd be a problem. That'd probably be a problem. We have Trump. Never mind. I answered my own question a little bit. Rules don't matter here. Not anymore. They're actually thinking about they're playing with the idea again of opening up Alcatraz entirely. And I'm like, so that's how is that fucking possible? I thought that place is like decrepit and falling apart because it's old as fuck, and on top of that it's never had anybody at it keeping it up to date. No, the US said that we invade any country that arrests him. That man can't die fast enough. Either of them, honestly. All three of them, four of them. Talking about North Korea too, because that guy's a fucking trash pit as well. But fucking Putin, all four of them, they're pieces of shit. Go away. I feel like probably the Chinese dude, but I'm not sure. I don't know enough. I just know North Korea is fucking horrifying. So yeah, there's quite a few things where I'm like, these men are such pieces of shit. They're pieces of shit. If we, like, I would be so fucking furious if we tried to invade a country that arrested him. I would like, that country, whoever they are, they should invade our soil before we do any fuck shit. Because I'll defect. Like that. I don't know how much use I'm gonna be, but I'll defect. Especially if it's France. France, take me back, please. Take me back. I'm too far out to be able to join you again, but France. Yeah, I'm French, so yeah. France. Je ne sais what, je ne sais quoi. Put them both together and you get me. Yeah, French. And Scottish too. So like a little bit of German, I forget that side, but my French and my Scottish side, those are the two that mean the most. Oh god, I would love to join the Special French Forces, but I'm probably too fucking decrepit because of all my fucking bone issues. So like they'd probably be like, no, and I'd be like, I will do anything. So, yeah, like, oh, man, what a that's insane. Same thing, actually, you know what? He said that, like, not that he's gonna invade, but he said similar shit about the leader of Brazil. And he's like, now our coffee and shit's gonna cost way more because, like, he put that huge tariff on Brazil because they arrested the president or whatever because he was a piece of shit. Oh my god. Gotta be like top 1% of human beings. I am definitely not even close to that number. I'd probably be on the far opposite side. Yeah, no. I'm saying like my nationality is French. I'm French and Scottish and German. My Scottish family was supposed to come over the Titanic. We overslept. My French family, technically they made a pit stop over in Quebec and then came down. So technically I guess I'd be a Quebecois if we go back like 2 generations. But yes, I'm an American, born and bred, unfortunately. Would love to return back to one of the home countries, but yeah. No, I was born in Chicago. Proud of that one, though. Proud of my Chicago and my Massachusetts lineage. I'm very much a masshole and yes. Yeah. American with French heritage, yeah. We don't really, like... I know that's two separate things, and I'm very much, saying it incorrectly, but it's harder to more explain to American people. We voted, collectively, the majority voted for an orange buffoon. So, like, I kind of have to dumb a lot of stuff down, you know? A little bit. I was learning for a little bit and then dropped off of it because I don't think I can use Duolingo, honestly. I want to be able to do it, but I think what I'm going to do, because I lose my job in October, what I wanted to do is, like, do, like, courses just to get, like, certifications, and then I also wanted to do a French tutor, because I think that that's going to be the thing that's going to, like, make me learn it, because I learned a lot more from watching 2%, Call My Agent, and yeah, my grandma was full French. Like, my dad, he was the last full French. My grandmother spoke fluent French, and I picked it up as a kid enough to, like, I was sleeping on her couch, and she was asking my dad to get bread from a part of the store. And whenever I woke up, I was like, I had this weird dream that you told me to go get bread from, like, this certain spot in the store. And she was like, I was telling your dad that. And I was like, huh. And she goes, in French. And I go, huh? Oh, mais oui. Like, it was one of those things. So, yeah. No, my grandma and my grandpa were French. My grandmother on my mom's side, full Scottish. And my grandfather was, like, Scottish German. So, so we got a little German in there. But yeah, my grandmother, her entire family was from Scotland, and came over, supposed to be on the Titanic. Great-grandmother overslept. Great-great-grandmother overslept. And I was very happy about that, because I was like, oh, thank God, because we had been in third class. And my mom's like, no, we were in first class. And I was like, quoi? Where's the money at, Mom? And she's like, whenever we came to America, we lost it. And I was like, what the fuck? Are you serious? And she's like, yeah. And then my dad was like, oh, yeah, we had a one-generation pit stop over in Quebec. And we had several gas stations. I was like, what do you mean we had several gas stations? And my dad's like, oh, yeah, we owned, like, a lot of gas stations up in Quebec. And I was like, where's the money at, Dad? And he's like, oh, we lost it coming to America. And I was like, I hate this country. I hate this country so much. Like, it was one of those things where you learn about your heritage and you find out that you could have lived a better life, but you're here instead. And it makes you want to scream. Rio, yeah. Oh, I wonder if the reopening Alcatraz is a money laundering grift. Oh, the hot. Rope. Holy shit. I think you're right. Reopening Alcatraz would absolutely get him to hire corrupt contractors with inflated prices to renovate, and then giving him another way to funnel taxpayer dollars into his pocket. You are so fucking right, dude. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh no, I know that if, I know French people would disown me because I'm not speaking French. I am very much aware of that, hence why I want to speak French. I'm ahead of you. Don't worry. I'm there. It's just that this is smooth. A lot of it, a lot of it's smooth. So it's harder for me to pick up a different language. I try. I just think that I have to do a tutor. I've tried multiple different ways to learn any language, literally any language, and I found out that I think that tutoring is my last thing to be able to, like, pull it off. Oh, yeah, no, they can be racist about it. I can, too. Fucking hate Americans. They would probably be like, oh, shit, she's worse than us. what else do you have like to tell us? And I'd be like, oh, so we have this, just like just bad mouth the whole time. Um, but yeah. It's I totally understand, and I can't blame them for Americans. Honestly, we always end up doing some fuck shit, in countries. It's true. Border wall can tell. Oh my God, yeah, you're right. They're all grifts. It is a big ass money laundering fucking scheme, dude. You're fucking right. There are so many for-profit fucking prisons. It's not even funny. Oh no, I'm actually going to learn French, not Quebec French, not English French, like French. I want to learn French. I want to go like back into my old native tongue for my family. Oh yeah, no. I can, yeah. Seem to make it more subtle. Yeah, I know, I feel that. Yeah, it's yeah. Being an American, I feel like, because I've never really been out of the country, which is incredibly sad, but I also have fucking no money. So, and I just recently got my passport, so woo. But I feel like I'd be so fucking embarrassed the whole time I'm out of the country visiting another one, because I'm going to be like, Americans are so fucking disgusting. I'm going to be like, I don't want to make an ass out of myself. I don't want to be like too, like, I want to fit in and I want to blend in. So like, and I know that that's a fucking impossible feat for someone that's never been out of the country and has no fucking clue what she's doing. So like, there's a lot of things that like, I worry about traveling abroad, because it's so fucking embarrassing, especially now. I look at like any of my friends that are outside the US, and I see how they post about Americans, and they make no offense. I mean, like, I take no offense to it, because I'm like, yeah, absolutely, a majority of the people are exactly like that. But they have such a disgusted view on us, which I believe is 100%, truthful and or deserved. It's 100% well deserved. So, just sucks. Some messages of Americans visiting Europe. Come to the Netherlands. Oh, hell yeah. I'm down. Yeah, the Netherlands is another place that's kind of on my list. I wanted to do France and Scotland, because that's where my family's from. And I kind of just wanted to touch base on the home countries. Even though, like, we did make a pit stop in Quebec, but technically that was my one place out of the United States. However, I don't really count it because it's Canada, but I guess I can now, because we've made enemies out of Canada. But yeah, since I've been to Quebec, I love Quebec, by the way. I went to Quebec, had a blast. I was a kid, so I wasn't there and got to, like, see the adult side of it. But I was like, if I'm going to go and leave the country, then I'm going to try to go to France or Scotland. And our airport goes directly to France, which, as someone that has like a pretty large fear of not necessarily flying, but mostly being in, elevated items that are man-made specifically. It's very weird. Like, I can climb something and be fine and look down and be like, all right. But if I'm in a tower or like a plane and I'm looking down, I'm like, if we fall, we're dead. And I don't know who built this. I've never had trust in humanity and building things. So like, that's always been terrifying to me. So going over a bridge, fucking horrified. I'm like, if this goes, the whole time I'm gonna be like, whoever made this, I hope they die. Like, and they're probably already, honestly, they've probably far past me, the people that built that bridge. But I know, but still, I don't know. I have trust issues. So, I've always had a fear of a bridge falling and me falling with the bridge. And I feel like that's kind of like translated over the years to like my fear of flying and various other things. So like I'm getting better with flying mostly because I take a fuckload of edibles and then drink probably too much and then get on the plane. So yeah, by the time that I'm up in the air, I am definitely seeing God a little bit from the edibles and then the probably wine or beer that I chugged before I got on. Uh um yeah, I mean that's a good point. That is a good point. Um yeah, so I have a little bit of a fear of that kind of stuff. And yeah, so going overseas and then having like no pit stops and it's just a boop boop, over to France, much better. Much better. One and done. Just going across. Because I did go to Hawaii with my mom, and I'm not gonna lie, me flying, I was fucking terrified. I was like, this is it. We're gonna die. Because I have to go over the fucking ocean. For whatever reason, going over a big ocean was my biggest concern. And now every time I give myself that excuse, I'm like, oh, I'm scared to fly over an ocean. I'm like, I did it already. Shut up. Shut up, Jen. And I survived it both ways. So, like, it's fine. It's fine. Netherlands. Yeah, I'm down if I finally can have it's flat as shit. I don't know, Illinois is pretty flat, not gonna lie. Actually, Kansas. I was driving to Kansas. Oh, anywhere in 3 hours. So yeah, that's so wild. So yeah, I was driving in Kansas, and I see this like little speck on the horizon, and I'm like, what is that? I keep driving, and it's after a while it started getting bigger, and I'm like, the fuck is that? And then as I got slightly closer, I was like, that can't be Kansas City. Is that Kansas City? And as I got closer and closer, and I realized, yes, that's Kansas City. I could see that motherfucker from like way too far away. It's a little speck, but I saw it in the distance, and I was like, is this a thing? So Kansas, flat. It was impressively flat, honestly. Like, that will always stick in my head. The time that I drove through Kansas and was like, Jesus Christ, you can see the city from far, 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 far away. So, and that was probably like a I think it took 2 hours to get to. Like, it wasn't close. It was like a while before I got to it. And I was like, oh my God, this place is flat. It's flat. Illinois has some hills. We do. Oh, you guys are below sea level? It's better than being above, because then I'd have to have like a fucking oxygen tank and shit. I know that there's some places and like over that are kind of like more mountainous, and you have to like worry about oxygen deprivation. I'm like, holy shit. That would be problematic for my poor lungs. My poor shitty ass lungs. They'd be like, what the fuck are you doing? What are you doing here? You're not supposed to be here. And I'm the one that wants to like eventually run up to Alaska, because I hear that it feels great on the lungs because you can actually breathe. And I was like, oh, 300, yeah. I don't know how tall that is. Again, American. We don't learn anything. In school, we were supposed to have a foreign language. Band got considered a foreign language because we only had one. We had a French teacher. She got fired for sexually assaulting our English teacher during prom, and then our Spanish teacher didn't speak Spanish. So I chose band. I was already choosing band, but I chose band definitely. I was like, yep, definitely gonna be in band. Universal language, technically, because you can put a piece of music in front of anyone on this planet, and they'll be able to play it if they play that instrument. So, but it was a stretch for my school. So yeah, whenever I say the American education system, oh yeah, and that was public education too. And we're gonna lose that, I'm sure. 98 for a feet. That sounds about right. That's almost unfathomable for me because it's too tall. I'm only 5'2", so like everything past 5'9" is unfathomable to me. I'm like, what is it like being that high? Huh? Can you see the top of the shelves? Can you see the top of the fridge? Holy shit! Oh, that's your smallest place? Fair. Yeah, I don't. Height eludes me because I'm very short. People think I'm way taller than I am. Absolutely not. They meet me and they're like, oh shit, you're short. And I'm like, yep. And then I'll take my shoes off and they're like, oh shit, you're like really short. I'm like, I am a hobbit. It is correct. That's why I love snacks. I love getting a little and, you know, and going on little adventures with my friends. I really am a hobbit. I really, really am. Yeah, 5'2". Cue the Shire music. I do have a cosplay of a hobbit. I do fucking love the Lord of the Rings. That's another place I really want to go is the actually no, it is the Netherlands. Yeah. Yeah, it is. That and yeah. That is where Lord of the Rings is, isn't it? It is the Netherlands, right? No. Wait, where's Weta Workshop? Where's the Weta Workshop? Oh, I feel small as fuck everywhere, dude. Like, I'm short. I you know what though? I'd rather be short than tall because a lot of things are not made for tall people at all. Oh, that's right. It's in New Zealand. Yeah, I want to go to New Zealand. They would have to kick me out, though, because I'd probably chain myself to a Lord of the Rings style tree and be like, I don't want to leave. Please don't make me go back. I just want to be a hobbit. And they'd be like, get her out immediately. Oh, no. Clear. Like, no, I know that's Australian, but that whole thing fucking cracks me up. Do the Australian accent. And then they do it, and it's like, no, like the Australian accent, and it's actual Australian. They're like, oh no. Oh, is it? New Zealand is. Oh. What? Did not know that. They didn't really teach us world anything. Just like a little bit. Whenever I was in school. And then I failed to learn anything on my own until I got much older. And then it was like, oh yeah, I should probably learn some stuff. I should learn some knowledge. No, I'm going to feel just at home because I'll just climb people. Like a little tiny. See, that's why you can't take an American anywhere. You can't take us anywhere. We're going to ruin it. God damn. God damn. I immediately go into, I'm going to ruin this trip. Like, let me just climb the natives. Let me climb them like trees because I'm 5'2" and I feel entitled to be able to perch atop someone's shoulder and, you know, I should be allowed to do that. As someone that's 5'2", and then I could yell at people for you. I could, I don't know, yell at people for... Oh, no! I have links for that. Thank you. I have not posted in a while. I need to... That does remind me. I do need to do my sneaky links at some point, and I have to redo that one entirely. No, not entirely. That I have to work on this month to work on sneaky links. Reminder. Thanks for reminding me. Hashtag horny posting on main. Yeah, like, so crazy. So crazy. I was thinking of something. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, definitely want to live out my Lord of the Rings life. There's apparently like a Lord of the Rings like house somewhere here. And I want to go find it and rent it out, even though I know it's going to cost like way too much. But I'm literally going to bring the OCs that I feel would be perfect for in that setting, and then do just like a fuckload of TikToks and get that out of the way and do the fucking thing, you know? Because like, I really want some video of my Hobbit in the Hobbit house. That would be fucking phenomenal. I definitely need that. I need that. Because it has the door, too. And I was like, how does... I feel like that door would be so heavy for those hinges as, like, a circle. But I don't know these things, so I don't know. I guess it's... I mean, they have the door there, so I guess it works. Oh. Speaking of, like, Lord of the Rings and Tales, apparently PBS is defunded now officially, like, for real. So Sesame Street is, like... I think that Hulu might have picked them up, but now it's paywalled, I guess. I feel like they shouldn't paywall it. I feel like they should, like, make a PBS, like, separate app and then that's free. Just saying, oh. No, I appreciate it. No, I definitely do. I appreciate it. I'm always down if I can actually somehow manage a trip out there. I barely manage trips in the United States. I need to, like, it's also because, like, I don't get time off at all, like, with my company. We don't have, like, a lot of time off, and a lot of it has to go. Oh, thank you so much. I didn't even hear the thing. Oh, man, are my sounds being weird again? Son of a bitch. Oh, thank you so much for the follow. We don't really have standard time off. Like, every paycheck, I get, like, point something hours. So, like, whenever, because I do MagFest, Dragon Con, and KatsuCon, which are conventions. 2 are in National Harbor. One's in January, one's in February. And then 1 is coming up at the end of the month. Next month. And those take up a majority of my time off. And that is, I want to say, 2, 4... 5, 4, yeah, so like 9 days takes most of my time off. And then I had to use my time off to take care of my dad whenever he passed. Because we only got 2 days bereavement. Which does not help because you have a lot of shit that you have to do for your parent passing. Including, now I have to go to the courthouse to try to open up an estate for my dead dad, to cash his last checks, and it's going to take months to do that, and one of those checks is going to go back to the state of Florida. So, like, it's so fucking crazy. 21 federal vacation days? See, like... Is that, like, holidays are you talking about? Because we get, like, 4th of July off and, like, Christmas and sometimes, and Thanksgiving and sometimes Black Friday, just depending. And then, like, a few random, like, holidays. So like technically I guess those count. I don't know. Um yeah, I don't know if that's counting if it's like a holiday thing, but yeah, it just depends on your company. Whenever I was first starting for this company for a year and a half, I didn't get any time off. So if I took that time off, then I was not paid at all. Um, and that's whenever I just did MagFest, KatsuCon, and DragonCon. I think DragonCon I didn't work for it, but I think MagFest and Katsu I worked from the hotel and still put in my time. Um, oh damn, 21 company days without federal. Damn. Yeah, we don't get that. We don't we whenever I was working for like a really good company, not even a really good company. They ended up being absolutely a poor company. LabCorp. They can suck it. Um so they for the entire lot of 2020, they didn't allow us to have any time off. They didn't give us a pay increase. They they wanted us to come in if we had COVID. Um, and what else do they do? They also didn't give us PPE. Um, oh, minimum of 4 work weeks, but that's way better than a lot of us. Like I said, like I've been saving up my time off for Dragon Con and my birthday weekend, which is this weekend. Um or next weekend. And I don't know. I think I'm going to have to go to Dragon Con and not get paid for at least like 2 of the days, maybe 1. I think that lands on a holiday. So I think that saves me. But yeah, because I went to my dad's and I had to take off like several days on top of that, it killed my time off entirely. So, oh, we lose them at the end of the year. Yeah, they don't roll over for us. LabCorp, they didn't roll over, or no, they rolled over 40 hours. So like, I think for LabCorp, we got 2 weeks off for vacation. 2 or 3. I think it might have been 3, but it definitely wasn't 4 work weeks, but I think it was 3 work weeks. And I only got that after I was working for them for like 5 years, 5 or 6 years, something like that. So yeah, and then I quit at 10 years or almost 10 years. 'Cause after 2020, that was just such a fucking nightmare that I was like, I'm not dealing with patients anymore, especially with how little they were paying me. I started with LabCorp again, where I was there for 10 years. And by the time that I left, I forgot how much I started working with them at, but by the time that I left, I was getting $18 and maybe 25 cents an hour after 10 years working in healthcare and dealing with blood and poop and pee and sputum and semen and everything else in between. That's how much I left them with, which is insane. It's insane. And then again, 2020 they cut our hours, they cut our time off, they cut our pay increases, they cut our pay incentives for like, getting people to pay their bills with us. They didn't allow us to take any time off during 2020, and then they wanted us to come in with COVID. So that was like the straw that broke the camel's back. I was like, I'm done. I'm not going to do this anymore. So my last day was October 31st. And I was dressed up in my yellow Twi'lek, which is one of my OCs, and she's a Sith, and my boss, and I had given my boss all these opportunities to like keep me as an employee. And she came in and she was like, I'm so sorry. Like, I wish there was something that I could do. And I looked at her dead ass in the face as a yellow Twi'lek, painted up to the nines. And I was like, well, I gave you several options on how to keep me, but you chose not to do that, didn't you? And she looked at me And I realized what I had said out loud as my OC, and I was like, there's no taming my OCs. If I'm in that, I'm them. And so I said that, and she's like, well, I guess you're right. And I was like, mm-hmm. I was like, oh shit. I don't know where the balls came from, but there they were. See, I don't think a lot of ours pay out either. I think it's either you take it or don't get it, and if you don't take it, you lose it. Yeah, like my company right now is laying off. We had 4 layoffs in 2 years. Like every 6 months we'd have huge layoffs, and my team is one of the last teams, and they cut us and the other couple of last teams because they're cutting all of our people in the US. Like, they're only going to be working out of like a skeleton crew of like the higher ups, of course, and they're moving everything, all the operations, to India. So I lose my job in October. So that's gonna be fun. Yeah, we don't want to lose them free hours, so you gotta take them. And God forbid that you take it on the same day as someone else, because then you won't get it. Like America is so fucking cooked. We are so fucking cooked. It's crazy to me, because like there's so many countries out there that have so much better, like better healthcare, better pay, better like living conditions, better security, like job security. It has better like school, free education, all this stuff that's like so much better, and we're a third world country masquerading as a first world country. America is no longer a first world country. People think that, but we're not. We're not even close anymore. We're considered a third world country because we have so much impoverished people and starving people. There are places in rural America that have to go drive like an hour and a half just to go get food from a grocery store. There's food deserts out here. There's medical deserts now. Like, it's fucking crazy for you have no idea. Yeah, out here it's a Wild West. Like, it's nuts. And like people that do have medical care might not even be able to afford it, because like if I go to the doctor, just like a general checkup, it's like $150 for my copay. And it's like, what the fuck? Yeah, 1.5 hours for food. Yeah. The problem is that a lot of those people are, okay, so like for instance, my small rinky-dink town, because my parents were divorced, so I did that back and forth divorce kid thing. My mom eventually moved back to Southern Illinois instead of Northern Illinois, and we lived in a town of 3,000, and that town of 3,000, we had one small rinky-dink grocery store. It's still a mom and pop shop, it's still there, and I would have to drive like 30 to 45 minutes to go to an actual grocery store if I wanted to. So if I didn't have a car, I wouldn't be able to go. And then if you live in that town, you stay in that town because you can't get an education and you kind of get stuck there, which is very easy to, then you don't really have a choice. Because if that mom and pop grocery store goes down, that's it. It's crazy. Wow. 15 minutes without a car. What is that like? I wish that we were a better country, that where everything was walkable, to where like if you have a job, you can walk to it. If you have, needs at the grocery store, you take your little buggy and you go grab your groceries, buggy it back to your house. Like, that's the kind of life that I wish that we could lead over here in America. And we don't have that. And I don't think it's ever going to come to fruition, because California was doing the high-speed rail and trying to get that like installed, and it's been starting to be installed. Like, there's railways, there's cars, there's things that are already being built, and Trump administration stopped it. So now California is like one of those states where if you don't have a car, you're fucked. Truthfully. I've been out to LA, and I lived in LA for like 6 months. You can't survive out there without a car. That railway was going to change a lot of lives for the better. It's gone. It's fucking gone. I'm so infuriated by that because, like, there's so many cities that desperately need that desperately need high rail system or whatever. Like, it's so important for us to have railroads and things to get people, or high-speed rail, that's it. A high-speed rail, like, even in my community would be, it would be a game changer for so many people. We just have a bus system, and it is a barely functioning bus system. And that's the same way everywhere. It's like, I think I was just like, I was Google searching, not Googling, but, I was Google Mapsing, like, where I needed to go, and it gave me the option of, like, a bus, and I was like, oh my God. And it was like I think it was like a 30-minute drive, and it was like a 4-hour bus ride. And I was like, holy shit. 5 minutes walk to a supermarket, that would be incredible. And, like, Americans are already starting to see that our shelves are starting to become bare. I went to the grocery store last month. It was last month whenever it was more noticeable. But whenever I went, there was, like, actually shelves that were empty because they couldn't have it stocked. And we're going to see more of that and more of it as we become more and more a food desert, and a lot of Americans are going to die from starvation and homelessness, like freezing to death in the cold. Like, this is third world country shit up in here, and we're still here. Like, what in the fuck is happening? Like, I don't know how Americans are going to survive this. I don't know. I know that we will, but it's like, how many people are going to be lost among the way that won't be able to afford even the basic bare necessities? We've cut cancer research. That was another thing that got cut. With the PBS and the NPR being defunded, I've already seen that there's a good chance that PBS and NPR are going to be fine, because a lot of that is actually from donors. It's going to be the local radio stations that are going to go down. So here we have little rinky-dink Southern Illinois town with 5,000 or with 3,000 people, all of a sudden now don't have any radio. Like, if everything goes, like, if power goes out, you turn on your radio and there's nothing there. Like, is this, like, and it's a storm happening. Is there a tornado? I don't know. I don't fucking know, because I don't have access to any kind of communications. Communications go down. Rural America is going to suffer exponentially in this whole thing. And they're the people that quite literally were the ones that voted for all this. Yeah. You'd be broke as shit without a job if I was... Yeah. Listen. That's amazing. A lot of, like... There's nothing wrong with that. Shit, I'd still live with my mom if I could. Her and I would, like... I feel like our relationship's better now. But back in the day, I think that we would have ripped each other's heads off, and that wouldn't have been a thing. But I would also have to live back in Southern Illinois. So that would be a big problem for me, because I would not have access to the things I even have access to. In fact, my mom's internet is so bad, I wouldn't have even been able to stream. I can't, like, we were barely able to watch TV. She had such shitty internet. And I was like, Ma, how much are you paying for this? And she told me, I was like, that's too much. You need to call them because they're throttling you. And she's like, no, I don't. But yeah, so I wouldn't even have access to the internet, which would mean that whenever I wouldn't be able to do my job. I actually went over to her house. That was another reason why my time got fucked up for my, why I'm probably going to have to, like, not get paid for Dragon Con on some of it, is whenever I went to visit my mom, I brought all of my work equipment with me, which is just like a laptop and, you know, just on the road travel. And I tried to work from home, and her internet was so bad, I couldn't even work from home. And that stuff is not taxing. It's not like streaming. So, like, there goes both of my jobs if I was to move with her. I no longer have access to either one of my jobs. Even though, like, in October that I'm losing mine. But, like, let's scratch that and pretend like I'm not. But, like, I wouldn't be able to stream. I wouldn't be able to do my sneaky links. I wouldn't be able to do any of this stuff because the internet and the signal is so fucking horrible there. Rural America is so screwed. I'm more concerned about that than anything else, is that our rural America is really going to suffer, and I'm really worried about my mom being in that area, because it was like, supposedly if your hospital gets 30 to 40% roughly in Medicaid and Medicare funds, your hospital is at risk of closing with the new big beautiful bill that passed. So I checked my mom's hospital, the one that's right by her house, and it was 38%. And I just started crying because I was like, that's not my mom's hospital. Like, my mom has a heart doctor that she has to drive to Paducah, Kentucky for, which is a 3-hour drive to get to a actual doctor that can help her. And I told her, I was like, if you have an emergency, and she's like, oh, I'm not going to go to that hospital. And I was like, Ma, it doesn't matter. If you have an emergency, it's not going to be there. And she's like, oh shit, I didn't think of that. And I was like, yeah, you're thinking of, like, your doctors. If you have an emergency, bitch, you ain't going to make it to Paducah, Kentucky, babes. You're not going to make it that far. And then I looked at all the other hospitals in her area. I'll give you a guess as to how much money they rake in from Medicare and Medicaid. Yeah, about 40%. Yeah, about that. In that range. Yeah, in the trouble range. One hospital that's not close to my mom, I think it's like, but that hospital is like in the center of a shitload of towns that don't have access to a hospital. Like, that's the only town or the only hospital for like miles, until the hospital I'm talking about with my mom, which is about an hour and a half drive to the hospital that my mom would be going to. The Benton hospital, that one's on the list of going to close. Those people aren't going to make it. If you have an emergency, a stroke, heart attack, you're not going to make an hour and a half trip. I hate to say it. I just know from the medical field. Like, if you do make it, it's an act of God. It's a miracle. But if you have a stroke, there's a chance that you might, like, if it's anything hefty, if it's a heavy stroke, if it's a, you know, a big heart attack, I don't think that they're going to make it. I just don't. I don't think it's going to happen. Rural America is going to suffer beyond. And then even worse, like with the cuts of, what is it? The cuts to, the EPA, the FEMA, things like that. Like, environmental protections are going to be stripped, or already being stripped right now. FEMA, that helps people with disasters, with natural disasters, they're going to be gone. That's it. So my mom living in Tornado Alley, they get tornadoes there all the time. I have to call my mom every tornado season freaking out because I haven't heard from her in like you know, a few hours and there was a tornado that supposedly touched down by her. Like, it's crazy. Oh, no. No. No, I agree. I'm not judging you on that. Not whatsoever. The people that didn't vote for it, like myself, fucking horrified. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Some of us are, you know, every now and then we're slightly enjoying the fuck around and find out stage. I'm not gonna lie. Watching certain guys cry a little bit online and whatnot, hilarious. Love to see it. Probably should have done your fucking research beforehand, you motherfuckers. So, like, I did my research and I tried to do my due diligence of telling people and warning people and talking to people, and that's what kind of got me into, like, speaking about politics online instead of, like, just not saying anything or, you know, talking in hushed tones behind closed doors and being like my friend that I, you know, thought was actually, you know, not supporting him, actually, you know, voted for him and blah, blah, blah. And, like, I've been trying to, like, reach across the aisle a lot of times to try to do that. And I did that very diligently because I was like, there's nothing to lose now. Fuck it. And so I just started posting shit and started being more vocal about it and more active in that. And talking to my mom and trying to, like, talk to her about what's going on because she was very misinformed. So, like, I did a lot of work, but I felt like it's a lot. You can only, like, get through to a certain amount of people in your stratosphere. And I felt like I did my best at trying to get word out and trying to, like, you know, whatever. How old am I? Gonna be 40 in next weekend. That's why I was like, whenever I was in high school, it was a long time ago. And we didn't have access to things like this. So, yep, 40. 85, baby. Ooh, ooh. I'm an actual 90s kid. I grew up with that shit. I grew up with the Real World and the Row Rules. That was my jam. I wanted to be on that show so fucking bad. That was my goal whenever I turn 18, is to be on the Real World or Road Rules. And by the time that I turned 18, they stopped doing that show and I was fucking pissed. Pissed. I wanted to be on that show so fucking bad. I don't think I could have made it. I don't think I would have made it because I was very, very timid and I was very abused and very, like, dealing with a lot of shit. Or they would have put me on there and I would have done some absolutely insane shit, which would have been very, very bad. Oh, yeah, no. I'm going to assume that's from my looks and not just, like, the way I speak. But also probably because, like, smooth brain up in here. So, I don't know. But yeah, a lot of people think that I'm on the younger side and they're horrifyingly wrong. I can camouflage myself into your world. Gen Z, what's up, my younglings? Like, no. Fair. Yeah. I take very good care of myself. Or try to. Hence why I got all these, like, I spent like $60 worth of vitamins. Because I'm like, okay, I'm turning 40 next month. Fuck. I'm pushing it out. Next weekend. And so I'm like, let me get some vitamins. And start taking those. Instead of, I don't know, not taking them. And trying to take better care of myself. But yeah, it's also good genetics. My mom looks vastly younger than she actually is. It's fantastic. Oh, perhaps. Yeah, I tend to be the oldest. So I used to be the youngest and now I'm like the oldest and is. Oh, 27. Enjoy this time while you have it. It is fleeting. And then your knees start really hurting. It's so hard to say goodbye to yesterday. Yeah, anyways, it was flat. Anyway, yeah, no, I've seen a lot. There's still some light in these eyes, so a lot of people just assume that I'm still younger. Nope. I just keep a happy-go-lucky demeanor the whole time, you know? kind of like a little bit of a himbo. So honestly, I'm the oldest in my surroundings. Yeah. Oh, that's fair. That's fair. Oh yeah. I mean, what's college like? Wish I could have afforded that shit. Again, our fucking government is absolutely insane. Younger than your RuneScape account. Nice. Nice. Actually, I think my Neopet is older than you. Yes, I still play Neopets. It's hot girl shit now. Somehow, some way, it has rotated back into circulation, and now it's hot girl shit, which I honestly, I'm super stoked about it, mostly because, like, I get to infiltrate the hot girl space a little bit and be like, this little gremlin over here, like, don't look at me. Like, let me play Neopets in peace. But yeah, hot girl shit is apparently Neopets now, so I'm good with it. It makes me super happy. But yeah, I know. You know what? It's fine. I have plenty of people. Like, I have friend groups in, like, vastly different age groups, which is very interesting. Like, your mid-20s, I have, like, a shit ton of friends in that age group. And then I have, like, a bunch of friends in, like, their early 30s. And then it goes back to, I have a shitload of friends in the age group above me. And then, like, a few in my age bracket. It's either, like, there's some in each little 5-year-old section, you know, like 5 years of, like, 20 to 30, 30 to 35, 35 to 40. And then the rest of my friends, which are young forever. So, because they're beautiful. It sounds like I'm pandering to them, but they know that I believe that truthfully. They're gorgeous. Forever young. Because, like, I have one friend that's a filmmaker, and he's an amazing, award-winning filmmaker. Christopher G. Moore, ladies and gentlemen. He does horror movies, and I always forget he's much older than me. And then he says that, and I'm like, oh, yeah. Huh. I forget this every time, because it just doesn't even occur to me, like, at all. But yeah, he's much older. He's much older than me. And I shouldn't say it like that, but he's much older than me. I think no, I don't think he's 5 years older than me. I think he's more than that. I always think he's, like, not that much older than me, and then I realize that he is, and I'm like, Anyway, I'm just digging myself into a hole at this point. So Chris, if you're seeing this, I'm sorry. Go watch his films, though. He's an amazing man. I'm obsessed with his films. Especially Knobgoblins. That's primo shit right there. But yeah. Yeah, everybody that's above 2000 doesn't feel like, yeah. As I'm doing, like, work, and I'm like, because I do credentialing for, like, a healthcare company, and the more I do, like, IDs and check those to make sure that they're correct on the right file, and then also, like, not expired, and then I'm, like, typing in their date of birth, and I'm like, you shouldn't even be allowed to work. What the fuck is this? And I'm like, oh my god, they're, like, 20. What the fuck? Like, my brain does the math, and I'm like, oh, no. Like, I think whenever I first started seeing, like, 2004, that's whenever I started to freak out a little bit, because that was the year I graduated, and I was like, I don't like this. I don't like it. I hate it. I don't want to be down this road. So yeah, it can be very interesting once you start hitting a certain age, and you're like, I graduated high school this year, and they're like, I was born then. I was like, no! Yeah, 2007. Yeah. Because, like, I watch a lot of debates with, like, Dean Withers, and he always, like, asks people their age to make sure that, like, they're over the age of 18 so they can even be on the debate. And, like, some of these people are like, oh, I was born in 2005, and they're like, he's like, okay, that checks out, and I'm like, the fuck do you mean that checks out? Oh my god. Like, yeah, it's Then I'm like, wait a second, you graduated in 2004. You already had your 20-year anniversary. And I'm like, I don't like it. So yeah, it's wild. It's wild. Growing up. But you get to, you know, kind of do whatever you want. Right now, at least. Kind of. I don't have a lot of rights anymore, so they're getting just taken. So, you know, I don't know how many rights I have left. I assume that I can still eat a brownie in the morning, but I don't know. And not even a magic brownie. I'm just talking about just a regular brownie. I'm just like, yeah, I want to have a girlfriend. Yeah. 2001. That was a good year. That was very good. I loved, like, the early 2000s and 90s. If I could vacation there just for a little bit, I would. I would in a heartbeat. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, whenever you have, like, someone younger than you that you're dating, it can be a little weird if you're, like, even just, like, a slight age difference. But as you get, like, in your 30s, closer to 40s, it starts, like, not being that same way. But I remember back whenever I was, like, 27, if I was, like, dating someone that was, like, 25 or 24 or whatever, I always felt like there was just a, like, slight difference in there. Like, I don't know. There was always, like, a dichotomy that was always, like, slightly off. But, like, as I got older, that wasn't a thing as much. Yeah. That's fair. 27. Maybe. I mean, for me personally, if you're like, I'm very particular. I'm like, if you're not in, like, a 5-year age bracket, I'm like, maybe not. Probably not. I think my hard cutoff is 30. Which will change slightly once I hit 40. I'll probably be like 33, maybe. If I date. I do have my girlfriend. My girlfriend. And she's in my age bracket. So, yep. Yeah. I feel you. But yeah. So yeah, it is, wow, I actually was on here for a little bit longer than I was expecting, because normally I jump off at 7, but I do go longer if I so choose. But anyways, I have some stuff that I do have to get done today, so I'm gonna jump off of here, yeah, and I will be back on Monday, yes, I will be back on Monday. If you're not following me on, thank you. If you're not following me on my other social media platforms, it is jennasaywhat.com/links. You can find all of my links in there, including my Venmo, PayPal, and Cash App if you so choose. But definitely not forced or anything. But definitely go check out my Instagram. I'm trying to get to 11K. I have been at 10.9 for 7 years, and it is driving me absolutely insane. I have no idea why it's been that number for that long, and it is my only birthday wish. What magical things I ask for at age 40. Never thought that would gonna be a thing. Oh yeah, no, actually my girlfriend's on a trip right now, so she's out and about. However, might hang out with my other potential partner. I'm poly, so, like, potential partner maybe. Still feeling him out, seeing what's up, but no, you're good. You don't have to. I always say that stuff at the end of the stream anyway, so I appreciate you following and hanging out. Amazing. Thank you so much, 404. I greatly appreciate. Polywalk? Yeah, I'm trying it. I've always been in relationships where, I haven't been in a poly relationship, and I kind of, like, ended up with my girlfriend and was like, okay, she's poly, let me just try this out. And so like it's been, you know, something where I'm like, okay, I definitely could probably do this, because like I'm not always available and I'm not always the best partner to be there 24/7 and actually be like able to give some things that other, you know, other people. So I understand the poly lifestyle, and I'm kind of like testing a little bit the waters. But both my partners, or my potential partner and my actual partner, fantastic, amazing human beings. So yeah, no, it's not for everybody. It's not. I'm still like, I'm at that point, like I'm good with her being poly, and like I might just stay with just her and like do it that way. It just all depends, because like it's a lot. Out here though, a lot of times like guys that I was dating would always cheat on me, and I'm like, okay, so I can't have a girlfriend, but you can go fuck other people. You know, I'm pan, right? I would love to have another, like a girlfriend on top of having, so like, so that's where I kind of went, was like, I'm gonna try this out, because it seems like if we're doing this from the jump, maybe it's not gonna be as bad. So yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't have anything that I'm like, you know, no, you gotta live your life. You gotta just live. You gotta live. Which Americans probably won't be able to. Whee! But anyways, yes. So I'm gonna jump off here. I will be back on at 5 p.m. Eastern time on Monday. And then yeah, I will see you there. 404. Thank you so much for hanging out. I greatly appreciate you. All right, I will see you guys next time. Bye.